I'll fight if I must. Ah, fresh meat!
Alright, hey everybody, welcome to another Ability Arena gameplay video. This is Yullbrenna, and for this video we're going to play Jamoy. And Jamoy is one of those gods where he's gotten nerfed because if he got buffed he would be pretty overpowered. So what does Jamoy do? Ability cooldowns pause between rounds, but they also have a big cooldown reduction which scales with shop level. So at the top shop level you're going to get a 45% cooldown reduction on your spells, but again you can see in the bottom right spells are on cooldown during in between rounds. So what this is obviously going to do is prevent big cooldown spells from being in your lineup. So Black Hole, Ravage, you're not going to be able to use a lot of those. So you're going to look for short cooldown spells that you can spam, that you would use just like any other, or you're going to look for lower cooldown spells that, you know, let's say it has a 6-second cooldown, like Lucent Beam or like Phantom Strike, and those are going to turn into spammable spells essentially. You know, they have a 6-second cooldown with the 45% reduction. They're almost going to have that 3-second cooldown. So when I'm playing Jamoy, there's a couple things I'm looking for. I'm going to make sure that there are a few of those low cooldown spells in the game, and I'm going to take advantage of those. And it depends honestly if I want to stay at the shop 2 strategy. You've seen me do that in the past, and you can check out this video right here. That'll do a shop 2 strategy, and this is basically not adding ultimates into play because a lot of the ultimates you can't really use anyways. So you might as well just stay at shop 2. Or you can go max shop, which is what I'm going to do this game. So a little bit of a different strategy than I've done in the past. I lock shop for Fiery Souls. You know, since I'm going to be spamming a lot of spells, might as well get Fiery Souls into play. I'm not sure if it's something I'm going to use long term, but I should definitely pick it up. Also really like Lucent Beam. I think that's a spell that doesn't get played a lot, but especially in a Jamoy build, it's going to be spammed a lot. So Sleight of Fist, another good spell in a Jamoy build. I'm looking at it, debating whether I want to do it. Quill Spray is also there. There's a couple spells I may want to pick up, but I decide to reroll and I find some good passives. Berserker's Blood is going to work really well on Doom. And then of course Spiked Carapace. Spiked Carapace is actually one of the main spells that I look for when I'm going to do a Jamoy build, and that's because I'll have that frontline causing an initial stun at the start of the round. And you know, since you don't have Ravage, you don't have Black Hole, you don't have a lot of those big ultimates that are going to stun the whole team, I'm going to look for Spiked Carapace to do that. And you know, it has a short cooldown at level 3, and that's going to become even shorter when I level up. So just throwing some decent spells on Underlord right now. Chakra Magic, great. So is Blade Fury. I will look for some movement on Underlord as well. And the Chakra Magic should help because Doom is going to be casting a lot of his spells, and he has a very low mana pool. So the Chakra Magic should help for him to stay relevant and keep casting his spells. So there's Earthshock. I definitely wanted some mobility. Earthshock is a great spell, especially once you get it higher up. It'll have at level 3, it'll have a 4-second cooldown. So with the Jamoy in play, you're going to be looking at almost a 2-second cooldown. So I'm off to a pretty strong start here. I think I've gotten a lot of high value spells. I've got a few points in Berserker's Blood, which always plays early. And yeah, I've got a lot of spells for my guys, so I decide let's put ultimates into play. You can see I save Jingo Mastery. There's not a lot of lifesteal, so I'm going to grab that. And then I'm favoriting all the low cooldown spells that I will probably play. Walrus Punch, Chakram, things like that. Yeah, looking strong here. Top of the lobby on a winning streak. frontline dies a little bit there. I've upgraded to, so I'm a little bit behind on spells. There's Jingu Mastery, like that showed up. And just getting a generic Vanguard. I'm gonna have a few frontline, so might as well pick that up. With Vanguard on the Doom, he's doing a lot of work right now for me, but I definitely do need some help. So we'll hit that next round. Spiked Carapace stopped the black hole, so this guy's build struggled a little bit. The Chakra Magic is really helpful for Doom because now he's just casting all of his spells even more frequently. So I pretty much have my build set for Sniper. He's just going to add some consistent attack damage. And I'm deciding, could have gone for one of those, and then it's either going to be Walrus Punch or Infernal Blade. I want that break. Infernal Blade is going to have a very low cooldown, especially at level 3. Again, it's a 4-second cooldown without Jumui, so it's going to pretty much have a 2-second cooldown. Combine that with Bash to the Deep, and I should be stunning opponents pretty regularly. Bro pops up, that's another good spell for Jumui. Great passive because it doesn't require a cooldown, anything like that. And you know, because I scale by shop level, I'm going to go ahead and upgrade shop level again. I like shop level 4, and I'll probably go max shop level to get the max benefits from this god. One thing that is happening is Disruptor has a good innate for pushing back, but he also has really low mana pool, so I am running out of mana because he's casting his spells a lot more frequently, so I do need to find some mana regen eventually. So switching a few things around, I really like this Underlord build with Blade Fairy, Blink, and the Disarm, and then you combine that with Chakra Magic. It's going to be a nightmare for my opponents in the back line, and it should cause some serious problems once I get some levels up. It's a little low level right now. So for my last unit, I think I'll grab some more frontline, and I'm going to put Chakram into play. I do have Life Drain, which I don't mind, but I think Chakram scales a lot better. So I'm going to take advantage of Chakram instead. And because I'm going Chakram, I'm not going Life Drain. I'm not going to go Grow because I already like Doom's build. I like Underlord's build, so Grow just doesn't make any more sense in it. The only thing I'm really deciding now is between Walrus Punch and Infernal Blade. So I had the money for it, so I went max shop. So cooldown reduction doing really well right now, and Doom should be causing some serious problems. You can see Doom made a lot of space, and Disruptor cleaning up along with Ogre. Ogre's build, he's not really getting in front. I do want Ogre to create space so that Sniper and Disruptor stay untouched. So I need to figure out a way to do that. And maybe I do Pulse Nova instead of Chakram since I haven't seen much Chakram in play. So kind of deciding between that. So my front line still causing a lot of problems, and Sniper's build is also doing pretty well. So he's the cleanup. You can see here he's breaking the opponent, he's stunning the opponent, and he breaks him again. The cooldown reduction is too much. for my opponent. I just have more stuns than him because of the cooldown reduction. Reality Rift, once it gets to level 3, has a great cooldown. So I'll be casting that a lot more. I like that a little bit more than Phantom Strike. You saw in an early round, Phantom Strike really wasn't working. He was just casting Chakram from afar, so that's why I went with Reality Rift instead. Still haven't found any mana regen for the Disruptor, so I've noticed Disruptor has been running out of mana, so that's still something on my radar. It happens a lot with Jumui. You do want to make sure you have a lot of mana regen in the pool when you're picking Jumui, because you're just casting spells so much more frequently. You can see Disruptor already out of mana, not contributing as much. Maybe he'd get hit with Chakra Magic, but because Doom and Underlord are staying alive, they're getting the Chakra Magic. So I like Radiance. I think Radiance will work really well on Doom. Right now I have it on Underlord. I think both will benefit from it. I think I'm going to eventually switch that to Doom. I pick up Ice Path as well. I really like Ice Path with Chakram. I think it keeps them in place, so my Chakram isn't wasted, and it provides a nice stun. So there's the mana regen that I needed, and a lot more spells showing up for me. I'll keep the Chakram. It's been doing well for me, and yeah, really just the Underlord needs to get his levels up. Really like that build, but Doom's working out really well for me right now. So going strong here. One thing to note is that, say you have a unit that dies and the round is still going, their cooldowns are still going to go. So if you have someone on the front line that casts something and it maybe has a longer cooldown, that cooldown is still going to go until the round ends. So it's something to keep in mind, where your front line is usually going to have their spells off cooldown unless they're surviving. So the one thing to note is my front line is surviving a little bit more, so some of their spells might be on cooldown when the round starts, and you want to be wary of that and adjust your position accordingly. Still on a winning streak here. We're almost in the top 4. Really liking the build. Doom is still my top damage dealer. Sniper, great build, and that's contributing as well. Now Disruptor with the mana regen has started climbing up the charts as well, so that's been pretty helpful, and that'll help all of my all of my units. So this guy gets into my back line, kills my sniper, but sniper's not really my carry. You can see my damage dealer is really Doom, and then of course you want to have Underlord providing with Chakra Magic so he gets even more reduced cooldown. So I'm not too worried about people getting in my backline at the moment, because right now that's my job. I'm getting to the backline, and those are my main carries that I'm worried about. So we're down to top 3 now, facing off against second place, who has a pretty good streak as well. And here's a good counter. Doom pretty much gets put in place and can't provide that lockdown that I needed, and that was pretty unfortunate. So first loss in a while, and I'm gonna have to figure out how to navigate the chrono, because that's a real problem for me. So looking at my opponent, seeing what they did, to beat me, and this guy, he's got 2 backline damage dealers. He also has the front line doing the chrono, so I really need to make sure my front lines avoid that chrono as much as possible, and I need to keep my Doom alive as best as I can. This is 3rd place. I'm not too worried about it. He keeps going for my sniper and leaving alone the rest of my units, so not really worried about this guy. And I knock him out. So it looks like it's down to the top 2. We both got a lot of health, so this should be a pretty good duel for the top 2. Getting Berserker's blood up, getting Blink up. Really happy with that. That should help a lot. Doom should hopefully be a little bit more survivable now. And switching it up, making sure my guys don't get stuck. Having a Reality Rift go off first, so hopefully I can cause some issues. Underlord pretty much takes the damage there, which actually works out really well because it means my Doom survives. And so my Doom is constantly stunning, constantly jumping around, and able to clean things up. So my Doom actually dying off early wasn't the worst thing in the world. I like Radiance on my front line, so it's really just between BKB and Eye of Scotty, and I might as well grab BKB for my backline. They're not touching the sniper too much, but that's what I'll go with. It's really the chrono that's causing the issues for me. So Doom's build, really to break it down, is because of the cooldown reduction, you have at super, Spiked Carapace is a 3-second stun on essentially a like 4 or 5 second cooldown, so there's not much downtime there. Dark Pact also very low cooldown, 3 seconds, and Earthshock has like a 2-second cooldown. So he's just constantly jumping around, and with Chakra Magic, it's causing problems. So you can see both of his damage dealers on the right are just perma-stunned, and he can't do anything. He tried to get to my backline again. People keep targeting my sniper. I don't know why, because it's clear my Doom is the one causing problems, so it actually worked out well that he decided to use the Blink instead. Getting Dark Pact to super, so big boost in damage, big boost for my Doom, who's already leading the charts, so really happy where things are going. He's keeping both his damage dealers together, and I'm not really worried about them. Doom can lock them down pretty well, as can Disruptor. Disruptor has a lot of stun, Lucent Beam is constantly off cooldown, so is Lightning Bolt, and Disruptor has really helped out with the damage as well. See if I can finish this off. Constant stun, so he can't even get off chrono, and I'm stunning his damage dealers. They're pretty much perma-stun. There's nothing he can do. Doom's just hopping back and forth, doing the damage, causing issues, and he's pretty much untouched. Yeah. GG's. I think this really showed the power of Jumui. He's a great god when the right spells are in play. Sometimes they're not. But I really hope you learned a lot from this Jumui build, and I'll catch you in the next video.